Okay, the next speaker is Joice Jiang. Joice Jiang is the publisher of Safety and Planning from Elsevier. She joined the Elsevier in 2017, and before that, she worked for the Oxford University Press. Joice manages publishing of 14 journals in safety and planning, including top-tier safety journals like AAP, Analytic Methods on Accidental Research, Journal of Research, and Safety Science. She is also Elsevier China Partnership Champion who supports journal publishing cooperation with the societies and universities in China. She'll deliver a speech about the recent publications about the traffic safety. Joice, please turn on your camera and share your screen. The floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Lee. Let me share my screen. Professor Lee, could you stop sharing for a moment so I can start my sharing?
Okay. Yeah, it just stopped. You can start. You can start now.
Thank you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending where you are. Welcome to this symposium. I am the publisher of Safety and Planning portfolio from Elsevier and also the publisher of AAP. I'm very happy to be here to share some of our latest trends in academic publishing with some insights looking into AAP. Before I start, please allow me to introduce briefly of myself and the portfolio I'm managing. I'm looking after 14 journals in safety and planning. In safety area, I have 6 journals. Among them, there are AAP, the most established journal in this field with more than 50 years of publishing history. It ranks Q1 in all its 4 categories in JCR. We've also got Analytic Methods in Accident Research. This is a journal launched in 2011. And last year, its impact factor has reached a record high of 11.806. We've also got Safety Science, and one of the long-established safety journal. It covers a broad scope in human and industrial safety. And also Journal of Safety Research. This is a journal we co-published with the National Safety Council from 1981. There are 2 society-owned titles in my portfolio. One is Safety and Health at Work. Safety Health at Work is the official peer-reviewed journal of Occupational Safety and Health Research Institute, Korea. And ITSS Research. This is a journal focused on transportation safety. This is the official journal of the International Association of Traffic and Safety Science, based in Japan. There are also other safety-related journals that are managed by other colleagues, including several journals citing human factors, ergonomics, and fire safety research. I'm sure many of you today are very familiar with the transportation research portfolio from Elsevier. Transportation is one of the subject area we're publishing with long history. The transportation research series has grown from one single journal to a portfolio of Part A to Part F. Our latest new launch in this series is Transportation Research Interdisciplinary Perspective, which was launched in 2019. Before we go into trends, I will talk a bit about what we are and where we are now. Elsevier defines ourselves as a leader in information analytics for customers across the global research and health ecosystem. What you see here in the title line, we are helping researchers and healthcare professionals advance the science and improve outcomes for the benefit of the society, is a mission we shared among Elsevier employees. There are three key focuses to make the mission into real action. We believe the high quality research outputs that are value and inspire. We serve more than 13 million researchers, students, healthcare and information professionals, and we create 18% of the global research output, 26% of global citation share. We publish more than 2,600 journals and 40,000 books. In 2019, we have received 1 billion article downloads, and each year we publish more than 450,000 articles. We also provide quality content and data analytic tools to empower discovery. That means rigorous ethical procedures in the editorial process and peer review. And we provide maximizing reading access regardless of discipline, geography, and funding. And we are working on continuous efforts to provide publishing innovations in data, software, methods, protocols, and reproductivity. Last but not least, we promote an inclusive and engaged research community. In Elsevier, we have established several working groups, projects, and advisory boards to make concrete steps towards gender, race, ethnicity, and geographical diversity. If we take a closer look at the journal publishing we're talking about, currently we offer more than 2,600 journals, including the iconic publications like The Lancet and Cell. Currently, we offer 2,600 journals, including Lancet and Cell family journals. And if we look at the subject area focus, there are 900 journals in physical sciences, 300 in social science and economics, 400 in life sciences, and 1,000 in health sciences. In terms of publishing model, we publish 500 gold open access journals and about 2,100 hybrid titles. One of the most important parts in journal publishing, and I'm sure many of you would agree, is the quality of journals. This is also the part that we are very proud of. If you take a look at the figure on the right, Elsevier has taken 33% in the top 10% journal qualities and 29 in the quality tier of 10% to 25%. And that basically means more than 60% of our journals are among the Q1 in terms of quality and their impact. We support research ecosystem in publishing. You can see from this circle, the journal publishing involves works with authors, editors, and reviewers. Each year, there are 2 million submissions to Elsevier and ended up in 500,000 published articles. This huge number cannot be achieved without the efforts of 23,000 editors and 87,000 editorial board members, and also importantly, 1 million reviewers. These accepted articles will go through production and then available for dissemination and archiving through our digital platform. This is how an ecosystem works with 2,600 journals. After talking about what we do, I want to introduce the trend I'd like to talk about today. The first one is the growing demand for open access. More research community, especially the research founders, are changing their model from pay to read to pay to publish. Pay to read basically means the subscription model, where institutions pay for subscription content for their researchers to read, or in some cases, researchers pay for personal subscription, whereas pay to publish means authors, their institution or their founders pay an article publishing charge to purchase the publishing service and then make the content freely available and permanently available to all authors. There are three different kinds of open access journal model: hybrid, full gold OA journals, and subsidized OA journals. Hybrid titles basically are subscription journals with option to publish selected content open access. The authors will decide at the point of acceptance whether the published article will go through open access model or subscription route. All Elsevier journals, all Elsevier subscription journals are virtually hybrid. The next kind is full gold OA journals. In this kind of journals, all published contents are free to read immediately. Authors or their founders will pay an APC to publish. There are also a small group of subsidized open access journals. These kind of journals are usually owned by a particular university or society, and they would pay APC for all authors, making all the published content free to read immediately. In Elsevier, we have 2,100 hybrid titles, about 466 gold OA titles, and 34 journals are subsidized. Subscription and open access trend are happening in lots of key countries. You can see that China has witnessed a significant growth in subscription, while other key countries, including US, UK, Germany, France, they almost stayed, and even with a trend to drop in subscription content. While in open access, every country has seen a steady growth, especially in China. It has showed an increasing faster growth tendency to OA than other key countries. China received a compound annual growth rate of 21% in the past 5 years, compared with the US with a growth rate of 11%. To better embrace the trends in academic publishing, Elsevier adjusted its strategy and aimed to provide options for every author across all quality tiers and subject fields. We're on a steep growth path, increasing both the publishing LA article and the number of open access journals. In 2017, Elsevier published 13.6 thousand OA journals, while in this year, we would expect it to be more than 84,000. In terms of number of journals, Elsevier had 198 full OA journals in 2016. This number will reach 500 in 2021. As of January 2021, we have signed more transformative agreements that have large OA components than any other publisher. These include test and learn agreements in the Netherlands, Norway, Poland, France, Sweden, and Switzerland, and many other countries. Authors from those countries will publish their content in Elsevier, all with open access model, making their research output freely and permanently available in the future. There are also individual institutions and universities, including the University of California, University of Florida, Carnegie Mellon University, California State University. These universities will fund their future articles open access with Elsevier, and at the same time, maintain access to the subscription content from Elsevier. Open access are more than open access articles. We've launched the research element journals to provide platform to share authors their data, methods, software and hardware design. The journals are multidisciplinary, allow the work to be discoverable across research fields. The research elements will be linked to authors' original research public articles in Elsevier journals. In that way, to obtain more visibility to your research work. The next publishing trend I'm going to talk about is China becoming one of the leading countries in research. China has become one of the leading research countries. In 2017, China has overtaken the US in the number of publications, and we expect China to match the EU's publication output by 2025. What also worth mentioning is in March 2020, China's submission to Elsevier exceed US and Europe together for the first time. In terms of quality, China's research is growing in quality and impact. Here we use field-weighted citation index to measure the quality of China's output. China's research quality was quite close to India in 2013. It has grown quite steadily, and we expect the quality to match the EU and the US by 2025. If we take a closer look in transportation research alone, China has been very exceptional in the field of transportation research. China has been very close to the US in terms of research output in 2016, but it has grown very quickly in the past 5 years, and now it becomes the #1 country in research output in transportation research. AAP has also witnessed the development of China's research. The top 10 institutions in AAP based on our author affiliation from 2016 to 2020 contains 4 universities in China: the Tongji University, Central South University, and Tsinghua University. What surprisingly, 5 years earlier, from 2011 to 2015, based on author affiliations, there are no China university in the top 10 institutions. Last but not least, I want to talk about the inclusion and diversity in academic publishing. There are lots of space to improve inclusion and diversity in academia. In publishing, we pay attention to the underrepresentation of female researchers and researchers of emerging countries on the editorial board. We also promote the research being conducted and reported inclusively and cover people across gender, race, and geographical distribution. While the participation of women in research is increasing overall, the inequality remains across geographies and subject areas in terms of publication outputs, citations, grants, and collaborations. Elsevier had investigated research participation, career progression, and perceptions across European Union and 15 countries globally in 26 subject areas. We published the gender report in 2020. You can download the report for free from elsevier.com. AAP is also a supporter to equality, inclusion and diversity. We have published an announcement on the journal homepage of AAP to commit ourselves to inclusion and diversity within our editorial board, authors, and reviewer network. That's all I have for sharing the trends in publishing today. Lastly, I want to conclude today's presentation borrowing words of the former publisher of AAP, my colleague Chris Pringle, who had worked in transportation publishing for almost 30 years. He once said, "The ultimate goal of AAP is to save lives by improving safety." I truly believe this goal is also shared by everyone who attends today's symposium. Your contribution, your continuous research makes the world a safer place. Thank you for listening. If you have any question, please drop your question in the Q&A in the comments, or please feel free to drop me an email through the email address in the screen. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Joyce. I received two questions. The first question is, what is the most important for publishing a good paper in the publisher's perspective? Can you answer this question?
Yes, this is actually a really good question. I think the quality of the good paper is evaluated by the editor. So the editing chief are in better position to answer this question. But in terms of publishing a journal should support the research community's need. The journal should follow the researchers' publishing trend and provide service to researchers. I think that is the ultimate goal of a good journal. I hope that helps.
Right, thank you. And there is a second question. It says, what does support inclusion mean?
Sorry?
Yes, can you see the Q&A? This question says, what does support inclusion mean? I also don't get the meaning clearly. Okay, I summarized some other questions because of time constraint, and I'll send you all questions to your email, and I'll post the question and answers.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
You can stop your video.
Sure.